So I just got my hands on the new C-Line CD1, which was replacing the old CD2. So I got a CD1 here, CD2 here. They should be pretty similar, but we're gonna see how much different this new one is compared to this old one. I also have an S-Line CD2 here that I could compare it to a little bit, but mostly I'm gonna compare these two. So I'm gonna play 9 holes, have a couple holes that I think will be good for this disc at Shadow Pines here. And according to Eagle, this is a good disc to learn forehands on, and it flies pretty straight, can hold a lot of torque. So we're gonna test that out and see how true that is. Real quick initial thoughts. This new CD1 feels a little grippier, I wanna say. It feels a little nicer. I don't know if that's just because this is older, but I like the feel of this a bit more, and there's definitely less flashing on the bottom than the old mold. So it seems like they're making improvements on just overall feel, which is a good thing. So hole 1 blues is 640. Gonna see if I can put it out there. Now usually I throw a roller out in this hole, but I've never thrown these before. I'm not gonna really try and throw a roller because they're probably not much of a roller disc. I think I'm actually just gonna try right off the bat throwing a forehand here. So let's start with the CD1 and just crank a forehand out there, see how it goes. Oh, that flipped up really nice. Nice, didn't have to put too much power on it, just flipped up. All right, CD2, let's see how different it is. I'm gonna throw it the same way, I try to. All right, I think that was a bit more stable, I can't really tell. CD2 landed a little bit shorter than the CD1 here. So got like a 250, 300, I'd say about 300 hyzer into the basket here. Oh, it didn't flip at all. And I put it on too much hyzer. Oh my gosh. All right, CD1, a slightly better spot. I'm gonna try and throw this one better. And the T side just literally broke on its own next to me. Whoa! That is so flippy. Holy moly. All right, not so great upshot. Leaves me pretty deep. Give it a run. So low. All right, and this one flipped way over to the right. Got about pin high, but I got another long putt here. Nope. All right, hole 2 blues, 345. Normally I'd throw a forehand here, but I'm actually gonna try to turn over a backhand. See how that goes. Jeez, that's up there. Now I'm probably gonna have to force this one over a bit more because it doesn't have quite as much turn. Forced it maybe a bit too much. In bounds though. All right, CD2 was a bit too turned over, it looks like. Whew. And can I big putt myself? All right. So, yeah, CD1, way flippier than the CD2 so far. Now we're playing hole 4 blues. That was hole 3, I think. I think I said that, right? So this is 330 uphill. You want to put it on some hyzer. You can see the basket way up at the top of the hill right there. It's probably pretty small. Now, I usually go something stable here. I think the CD1 might be a bit flippy, so I'm gonna put it on a lot of hyzer. Wow. I put so much hyzer on that and it just flipped up. That was perfect. A little bit less hyzer. See how this one goes. Bit of a tailwind too. Come back. All right, it had stability, but maybe I had to put it on more hyzer there. All right, you can definitely see the difference in the two flights here. I didn't put the CD2, which I'm standing at, on as much hyzer, thinking it was gonna be more stable, but CD1's up there. That thing flew really nice. No, that was so bad. Hole 5, we're gonna play the whites. I don't feel like trying to worry about hitting this Mando, especially with a headwind. But we got 610, par 4, punched up the middle here. Basket's way down there on the right a little bit. I think the CD1's gonna be really good for this. Put it on some hyzer, it should flip up, fly real far, put it for an easy upshot. This thing is flippy, but when you learn how to throw it, it flies really nice. I'm gonna try and put a little bit more power on it this time. See if it really takes a decent amount of torque. Just a little bit of hyzer. Whoa! Oh my God. That just flipped so much. I cranked that on hyzer and it turned all the way over. Maybe there was more headwind than I thought. Let's try CD2. I'm gonna do the same thing. Like this much hyzer, like that much. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough shot. That's so much better. It still turned over too much though. Here, just for reference, I'm gonna throw my Halo Destroyer on the same line. This is my beat up, kind of straight flying Halo Destroyer. Just to show that I'm not doing anything weird, all right? I am throwing these on a little bit of hyzer with some power, no trickery. See, that's gonna go left. Exact same angle, way left. All right, so it's not me, it's the disc. All right, I've never actually been on this side of the fairway before, but I'm just gonna try and punch this up. So this is the CD1 that turned over and hit a tree. I'm gonna try to punch it up on some hyzer, lots of hyzer. Maybe not throw it too hard. I know there's a headwind. I know it's gonna turn over if I throw it too hard. Get it on some hyzer. I gotta get like 350, 400 to the pin. It'll be tough. Wow, that was pretty. That was so cool. Okay, maybe I'm learning how to throw it a little bit. All right, basket's on the left side of your screen up there. You can see it real small. This should be a pretty routine forehand up shot. Probably like 300 feet, I think, maybe a little less. No, that looks pretty good. Go in the basket. Ooh, just short. Man, I am so surprised this CD1 made it up as far as it did after my terrible tee shot. Although, gotta make a long putt, which I didn't do last time. Come on. Oh, CD2, better drive, easier up shot, nothing crazy. All right, on a hole 6 blues, 340. Normally I'd throw a stable forehand out left, have it come back. I don't think either of these are very stable. So I'm gonna see if I can push it out there and get it to hyzer out. I'm putting out a lot more highs than I normally would. Should be able to get there. All right, CD1 to start. Again, going the same way as the last hole, so it's a headwind. I mean, I put that on a ton of hyzer. Ugh. All right, jeez. All right, let's try the CD2. I'm trying not to put it so nose up, but that thing flipped. No, it wasn't as flippy. Oh, okay. Let's try the S line on the forehand. Let's see how it goes. I'm pretty sure this thing feels flippy. Wow. I mean, it just goes way too flat. Not the right forehand for this hole. Now I'll get a little harp cameo for the upshot here. Now I could go forehand, straight at it, but we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna throw a backhand and hope it misses all those trees. Perfect. It was so good. I'm pretty sure I'm obstructing the basket completely from the camera. I'll try and get out of the way after I throw this putt. Gotta hyzer it. Nope. All right, we're gonna skip the boring island hole 7 to play 8 blues here. Now I'm actually gonna throw all 3 on this one because after throwing the S line, it seems to me like the S line CD2 is actually less flippy than the new CD1. Now, it feels like this is light. It feels like this is lighter than it actually says it is, but I'll show you. You can see it right there. That says 175. So this is a max weight CD1, brand new. It feels kind of light, it's kind of domey, and it's really flippy. We're gonna go CD1, old CD2, and then old S-line CD2. 375, push right, hyzer out, basket's up there, down the hill a little bit. No wind on this hole. So this is all disc, this is all me. Wind does not play a factor. It's turning a lot. Wow. I mean, it flew nice, but it turned too much. C-line CD2 from the old mold. Oh, that's just me. That was actually gonna be pretty nice. All right, let's redeem it with the S-line. No, that's even flippier. Wow, that is even flippier. So I'm not even gonna play the C-line CD2 that hit a tree. This is where the S-line went. I think this cut roll back towards the middle a little bit, way short, definitely turned over a lot. I think there was a bit of a headwind when I threw it. I just couldn't really feel it. And it is muddy now. Distance is definitely not an issue with the CD1. It looks like it went a little bit past pin high. It just never came back. Again, I think there was a headwind, so I think that might have played a role into it, but just doesn't have the stability to come back, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. Come on. Height. All right, hole 9 blues here. 335, downhill, straight down. Gonna try and hyzer flip it. I'll try the S-line again on this one because it might actually be pretty good. I think this disc might be a bit too fast for this hole, for me personally, but we're gonna give it a try. So CD1, maybe I'll park it, who knows? Oh, it didn't flip enough. Oh, I tried to power down a lot, powered down too much. CD2, just gonna go straight with it. So turn. I tried to power up. Okay, last try, S-line. I know this thing's flippy. Power up on hyzer. Should at least get down there. Don't want it to turn over too early. Jeez. Super turned over, but it made it down there. All right, we've got a long putt with the S-line CD2 here. It wasn't terrible, it just couldn't make it down the hill because it turned over. Oh, I'm just not getting them today. Hole 10 blues, 555 uphill, par 4. You got to get way up there and then up the hill. Now I'm going to throw all 3 again because this is the first pretty much wide open shot I've had today. I really want to see if I give them like 80-90% of power, put some hyzer on them and see how far they really go. I'm worried they're going to turn over, but I'm going to just power up on them and see what happens. So we're going to do the same order, CD1, C-line CD2, S-line CD2. Okay, that was actually pretty nice. I probably threw that closer to 70%, but it went pretty far. It probably went like 350, 400. It kind of was a little low, but it hit the hill, and I have an upshot, okay? So now I think I could power up on this one a little more. So I'm gonna try and power up, maybe like 80%, really put it out there. Oh yeah, I mean, not very stable, but it did get out there. That was pretty far. Now try the S-line. I'm gonna put it on a bunch of power, a lot of hyzer, see how far this thing goes. Now I put it on see, I powered up to like almost 90% there and it turned way over. They're good discs. You just can't power up on them too much unless you put a ton of hyzer on it. Because I did still put hyzer on that, but it turned over pretty early on in the flight. Oh, and we're getting rained on, so maybe we won't play hole 11. Maybe we'll just play 8 holes. Okay, so the CD2 went a little bit further right here. Basket's over there. And the CD1 was kind of short. I didn't put it on as much power right here. It's about to start pouring rain. If it's not already, it's gonna start pouring rain. So I'm gonna get to my car and I'll talk a bit about my impression of these discs and my sort of final conclusion. It is getting rainy and windy out here, but I will stick to the bit. I'm staying outside. Yeah, I mean, this thing's pretty flippy. It cannot take as much torque as Eagle says it did, or maybe he got a different run. I mean, even the old S-line CD2, I had an Undertaker, an ESP Undertaker for a while, and I had kind of the same problem, is it was just a little bit too flippy sometimes when I powered up on it. I typically like stable discs. I think it's a really good disc for just your average player, even a pro that has maybe a bit more of a touch shot than I do. I don't think it's a bad disc. You did see a couple shots that I had that were really good. It's just not something that I think I can throw reliably. But I think for like an average amateur player, this is a very, very good disc, and it feels really nice. It looks really nice, and you should definitely pick one up if you get the chance. Maybe I'll put it in the bag at some point if I learn how to throw it, but for me, probably not going in the bag, but I can't recommend it enough. I had a couple really cool shots with it, and it flies exactly how you'd want it to. It just flips up, has a nice S-curve. You don't have to put a ton of power on it for it to go far. So anyway, that is my review. Unfortunately, couldn't play the 9th hole or finish the 8th hole, but we got a good run out there. See you next time. Peace.